What's up, YouTube? So about 3 months ago, I went ahead and ordered one of these Tim Miller Kiesels. Weight's not too bad. Just got here. Thought, why not do what everybody else does and unbox it on YouTube and look like an idiot while I try to get it out of the box? So that's what we're going to do. And maybe I'm going to tell a couple Tim Miller stories because I realized I've been following this guy for 30 years now. I'll tell a couple stories. So if we go back to the year 1995, I'm a little scrawny douchebag and a freshman in high school, right? And, just to set context, back then, Dream Theater had just come out with Awake, and that was a big deal. And I really was into John Petrucci. And then it was about, this time of year, February, I think, sometime in February. My dad says, hey, the UNT lab bands are playing at the Meyerson. Let's go. I'm like, okay, great. I don't know anything about jazz. Know nothing. And so we go, and I notice there's this really tall guy playing with the 2 o'clock who's got this weird looking Steinberger. And you just knew this guy was really good. And during the break, he was standing by himself. My dad's like, hey, let's go talk to him. I'm like, okay. So that was when I met Tim. And, he told me about the Klein and how they send you a body kit and, measure it make the guitar to your body. And, really liked the one piece neck that was like a marimba key. All this stuff is pretty cool. So super nice guy. And honestly, that's the kind of thing that I would have forgotten about years ago, except a couple years later, I ended up working at a music store, and there's a couple other guys there that were going to UNT, and they just kept talking about how awesome this guy Tim was. And they had an album, With the Distance, had just come out. If you don't have it, go get it. Go email Bug Tim. I'm sure he can give you a copy or sell you a copy. Doesn't have it on his website. It's amazing. And, they started listening to this. I was like, I've seen this guy. I know who he is. I talked to him. I've seen him play. He's phenomenal. And of course, that record got me out of shredder stuff and into jazz. And, ever since then, I've listened to pretty much everything he's put out. Yeah. And so the fun part about waiting for this was going through all his records, all of them, listening to him, which I've done many times. I transcribed some stuff during the Christmas break, and it was just super fun listening. If you don't have the new record, he's playing with Steve Hunt. Oh my God, you got it. What are you doing with your life? Go buy it. All right, so here it is. I did get a sneak peek of this at one of the Kiesel streams. Jeff showed it for a minute. Holy cow. This is pretty cool. Look at that. So this is, the back is gorgeous too. So this is pretty much just vanilla specs. It is mahogany, obviously maple in the middle, flame maple with the aqua dye. I was just gonna get it natural without paint. I actually prefer the non-glossy, like a satin, or the other. They have a couple other options like the oil finishes. And I kind of prefer those in general, but I don't know. My other main Anderson is a similar Bora Blue with the glossy, and glossy does hold up better. It's a little tougher. This feels great. So yeah, I've never had a Kiesel. I played a couple Carvins back in the day, but never one of these. It's pretty close to being in tune. I'll plug it in here a second. But But man, this is gorgeous. And, you know, I was a little worried because I didn't pay for an upgraded top. It's hard to imagine a top being nicer than that. Like that's amazing. Thank you, Kiesel, for a beautiful guitar. I think that G string's a little loud. I would use my tuner, but it's across the room. All right, so this is running into Wagner Ecstasy right now. One thing I did want to understand is like the pickup wiring on this. So that's the... Okay, so when it's split, it's the inside coil. Middle is the two inside coils. Let's see what the neck is. I think they said it would be the inside. Yeah, it's the inside split, and then neck humbucker, I assume. Yeah, so let's, we'll go through the sounds. God damn, I should take a minute to tune it properly, huh? It's gonna drive me crazy. Man, I hate these clip-on tuners. They suck. Well, the one I have sucks. Okay, so there's the split. Here's the middle. That sounds awesome. Here's the neck split. And neck humbucker. Put a little distortion on it. God dang it. I just realized that whole time the guitar mic was off. Sorry. Okay, first impressions are this guitar is freaking great. I like the neck feel. I didn't know how that finish transition was gonna feel, and yeah, you feel it with your thumb. I don't love that. I don't understand. I feel like they should move that line up here, you know. But also, you know, I'm not afraid to like steel wool this to, you know, I'm not super worried about it. But so that's first impression is I don't. This is the transition is weird, but I will say I steered away from neck through guitars because the only ones I ever played were like, you know, Jackson Professional or Soloist or whatever in the '90s, and all of those had, you know, paint on the back of the neck, and it just felt awful. But I always remembered how they sustained, right? And so that's the cool thing about a neck through. I didn't hit that very hard, but yeah. It definitely feels like there's probably more than most of my bolt-ons. But anyway, so like the raw just oil finish on the neck feels awesome, and that's like, to me, like the main blocker of, you know, why I never got a neck through. The size of this feels great. Obviously it's small, should be easy to travel with, just being headless and stuff. But yeah, it looks great. I really like the way it sounds. I obviously, you know, it takes 6 to 12 months for me to get outside a honeymoon period and see, you know, is the proof in the pudding. So I pretty much like everything at first. So, you know, we'll do a follow up at some point. I do want to put a strap on this because I don't have a lot of guitars with the button on the back here. They're all on the horn, and obviously Tim is into that. So I'll see. I'm curious to see what that feels like. But yeah, just I don't know what else to say. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Jeff Kiesel, for making cool guitars. Thank you, Tim, for 30 years of amazing, inspiring music that is great. Yeah, seriously, that first tune on the new one. What is it? It's so cool. Something like that. Obviously, it sounds way better when he plays it. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Thanks for making cool stuff. I'm going to spend the rest of my weekend putting miles on this. And spec-wise, there's one thing I wished when ordering this Kiesel would offer on this model. And that's the shorter scale. And I understand, like, a short scale does sound different. And so I understand going with a longer scale. I love the way the longer scale sounds better. But as I get old, as I age, the shorter scale is more comfortable for me. So I don't know I guess if this model ends up being successful and you sell a bunch and want to offer it in the shorter scale, I would like one. Oh, okay. And actually, I'll tell one other really quick Tim Miller story. This was one of the craziest days of my life. So I work for a software company, and at our big conference was in Boston. Walk-in, we're staying at the Marriott Copley Center. It's like next to a mall. There's all these sky bridges over there. I'm walking down the sky bridge, and like I look up, and like there's Tim. And I was like, Tim Miller. I just started saying his name. He looks like oh my god, he's this crazy weirdo. But no, it was cool. I got to talk to him, and like he was so gracious with his time. We hung out for, like, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour, just BSing music, talking guitars. It was super kind of him to just give that kind of time. Nicest guy in the world. So anyway, thank you, Tim. If you guys aren't familiar with this playing, go listen to it. You know, it's like I don't even need to describe it. It's awesome. So go check it out. And yeah, this is amazing. So thank you, everybody. All right, cheers.